At first, they thought it was bees, but what they discovered would make their jaw drop. The Vanderhershen family lived in Florida, USA. Bob, Linda and their son Adam owned a house near the forest for several years. Recently, something had been going on in their attic during the nights. The family could hear rustling and muffled sounds coming from it, but Bob didn't want to attempt going up there to figure out what it was. This situation went on for months. Linda and Adam assumed that a swarm of wild bees had settled in the attic. But Bob assured them that this wasn't possible. Bob owned a company that provided services of moving bee families out of people's homes and into safe territories. In order to conduct business professionally, Bob went through training and a course of lectures on bees. He knew all about their behaviors, and this made him incredibly sure that there were no queens or drones in his attic. This was also why he didn't want to go up and check. "It's probably just mice," Bob told his wife. But he didn't have the bulb to get up to the dusty attic to get rid of the pests. After her husband's explanation, Linda was a little too worried about going to the attic alone. Their son, Adam, did not like this situation at all, as the attic was directly above his room, and the nightly sounds made the teenager extremely uncomfortable. One day, Adam took it upon himself to go up to the attic after he heard a slight rustle. What he saw against the background of the old ceiling beams wasn't mice at all, but a real, huge snake. Adam was speechless and immediately ran to his mother and told her about the unwelcome guest. After hearing this, the entire family was much too afraid to stay in their own house. Linda quickly took to social media to post about their discovery, stating that she hadn't quite been home alone after all. When Bob finally got up to the attic, he saw the invader and even caught him on video. When the family got over the initial surprise, they immediately called animal control. By the time they got there, the snake had crawled away from the hole in the ceiling, which made it even harder to reach. During the unsuccessful pursuit, the man managed to see and even identify the reptile. He told the family that the snake living in their attic was a large rattlesnake whose bane could cause extreme harm. The man outright explained that he couldn't catch the snake because it was hiding and would strike the first person who entered the attic. The family began to lose all hope as no one seemed to be able to help them. The couple even contacted their fearless nephew, but even he wouldn't dare act so recklessly. Bob and Linda then remembered another person, Mark Lampard, a daring guy who was sometimes pictured on their friends' social media. Mark was often seen posing with extremely unsafe animals and reptiles in the world. His experience could certainly help in this situation. Without hesitation, Mark agreed to help Bob and Amanda. After entering the attic, Mark spent several hours searching for the snake that had gone into hiding. During his search, he discovered a large piece of dry skin and told the family that this guest had been living with them for quite some time. It took quite a lot of patience as well as time, but Mark finally found the snake in the ceiling installation. He saw the tail sticking out and simply pulled the tail onto himself. Luckily, the animal control employee had incorrectly identified the snake. What was assumed to be a rattlesnake was actually a Colombian rainbow boa. While it was still unsafe, the snake had no bane that could cause harm. And that's not all Mark found. He had also discovered snake skin, which indicated that the non-venomous snake had been in the attic for as many as 4 years. While he was busy removing the snake with his girlfriend, Mark said that it was trying to bite him, leading him to believe that the snake had been feeding on rats for a while, according to reports. Animal control also said that the snake likely got into the attic from some of the nearby tree branches. The boa is currently living with a responsible reptile owner who will care for him for the rest of the snake's life. These snakes can strike, but they take their prey by looping their body around them, gradually blocking the access of oxygen. According to the Animal Control Services, the boa could have entered the attic through the tree since this kind of reptile is known for moving well through the trees. After the huge snake was caught, the family was finally able to breathe a huge sigh of relief and could even joke about it. This is certainly one unwelcome guest that no one would want to find lurking inside their homes. Sometimes we can be unbelievably wrong about something that's happening around us. The reality can turn out to be much worse. This is why you shouldn't let an unclear situation reach an unexpected outcome. It's better to carefully figure it all out right away.